Hi, who is my favorite comics writer of all time? That would be Bill Finger. Bill Finger is responsible for creating Batman, his large selection of supporting characters and rogues. For decades, Bill went above and beyond creating colorful, unique adventures for Gotham's superhero to go on. To this day, Bill's Batman stories remain among the most memorable and influential comics of all time. In my opinion, Bill Finger deserves as much love and admiration and respect as people like Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. However, Bill never received that sort of treatment during his lifetime. In fact, hardly anyone knew who he was. You might wonder how someone who creates some of the most iconic characters of all time could be ignored and unknown by a majority of the world. Sadly, Bill's contributions to the world were kept a secret for the longest time. If you were to look at a classic Batman comic, TV show, or movie, you'll see Bob Kane credited as the creator of Batman. However, Bill Finger is the true creator of Batman. If that's the case, you might be wondering what Bob Kane did. After Superman became a popular superhero, Bob Kane decided to create his own superhero. His idea was to have a blonde-haired superhero in red tights that was called Batman. Bob Kane told his friend, Bill Finger, about his ideas and how he needed help with the concept. Bill Finger decided that Batman should be a detective that didn't have superpowers. Bill came up with the classic costume, backstory, and personality traits that Batman became known for. If you want to get super technical, Bob Kane came up with the idea to have a superhero called Batman. However, is it fair to call him the creator of Batman if everything else about the character came from Bill Finger? Bill Finger was the writer of the early Batman comics. He wrote a majority of Batman stories for over 2 decades. What did Bob Kane do during that time? Well, he was the artist of the early Batman comics. However, he didn't actually draw the comics by himself. A lot of the Batman comics were drawn by artists who weren't even credited. Even when Bob did little, if any, work on the comics, he remained the only person credited for several years. Tragically, Bill Finger passed away at the age of 59 in 1974. Since he didn't receive credit for his work, he died as a hero that was never properly celebrated during his lifetime. This also meant that Bob Kane never got to apologize to Bill Finger for what he did. In 1989, 15 years after Bill Finger's death, Bob Kane finally admitted that Bill, helped to create Batman. He expressed regret over not sharing credit with Bill Finger. He admitted they let his selfishness get the better of him. And despite that, Bill Finger still wasn't credited as the creator of Batman. It wasn't until 2015 that Bill Finger started getting partial credit for Batman's creation. Now Batman's credit is being created by Bob Kane with Bill Finger. And in 2017, there was a documentary called Batman Bill that went into the great detail about the story of how Batman was created. Well, I'm glad that Bill Finger's finally given some credit for Batman's creation. I feel like he still deserves more. Bill Finger was never properly thanked for his hard work during his lifetime, but that doesn't mean that we can't honor his legacy. I don't believe in holding on to anger for someone like Bob Kane is no longer with us, so I have forgiven him. However, I would love to see the day where Batman is credited as being created by Bill Finger. While Bob Kane will probably always be giving top billing for Batman's creation, at least the fans can know the truth. The Batman character was given to us by Bill Finger. The last 80 years of great Batman story shows, movies, and merchandise would have been possible without him. While Bill Finger may have been unknown during his lifetime, his beautiful work continues to leave an impactful footprint on the world that will never fade away.